Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. There are sacrifices, 7 of them, that break down the very core of a person's soul. These aren't small things. These are the silent killers of spirit, the slow erosion of identity and power. Sacrifices made not out of choice, but out of pressure, fear, and expectation. And if you recognize any of these in your life, you need to stop. Right now, number 1, losing yourself. When you give away your identity just to fit in, to be accepted, to please others, you lose the essence of what makes you unstoppable. Number 2, ignoring your own needs. It's easy to put everyone else first, but listen, your needs matter. You can't pour from an empty cup. Number 3, staying in spaces that dim your light. Toxic relationships, unhealthy environments, these will suffocate your growth and steal your peace. Number 4, abandoning your dreams. Dreams are not optional. They are the blueprint of your purpose. Sacrificing them for temporary is a soul's tragedy. Number 5, pleasing everyone else but yourself. No one benefits when you say yes at the cost of your well-being. It's not selfish, it's survival. You walk through this world with one thing that nobody else has, your identity. It's the sum of your values, your beliefs, your passions, your quirks, your history, your scars, and your dreams. It's the core of who you are, and it's sacred. But let me be clear. Identity is not something you hand over to someone else. It's not a trophy to be won by approval or acceptance. It's not a mask you wear to fit the crowd. Protecting your identity is the foundation of your power. Without it, you lose your way. Without it, you become a shadow of yourself. Every day, the world throws expectations at you like punches. People want you to be a certain way, quiet when you want to speak, strong when you feel weak, agreeable when you're dying to say no. And sometimes the pressure to conform can feel so overwhelming, so relentless, that it starts to chip away at who you are. You begin to lose sight of your voice, your desires, your dreams. You start bending to fit a mold that was never designed for you. But here's the truth. When you sacrifice your identity to please others, you sacrifice your power. You give away the very thing that makes you unstoppable. Your identity is your compass. It's the guide that leads you through the storms of life. If you lose it, you're adrift. You become vulnerable to manipulation, confusion, and despair. You live for the approval of others instead of the approval of yourself. I want you to ask yourself this: who are you when no one is watching? What do you stand for? What values refuse to be compromised? What dreams keep you awake at night? If you don't know the answers, it's time to dig deep and find them. Because identity is not static. It's a journey of discovery. It's about peeling away the layers of expectation, fear, and doubt to reveal the real you underneath. This journey requires courage. It means standing firm when everyone else is trying to pull you in a different direction. It means saying a no to people, places, and things that don't honor your truth. It means being willing to be misunderstood, judged, or even rejected. But let me tell you, that's freedom. That's power. When you protect your identity, you begin to live authentically. You stop pretending to be what you're not. You stop chasing validation. You own your story, your struggles, your strengths, and your scars. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same, because authenticity is magnetic. It's the light that draws people in, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. Don't mistake compromise for growth. Growth challenges you, pushes you beyond your limits, but it never asks you to give up your core self. If you find yourself changing just to fit in, to avoid conflict, or to gain approval, pause and ask, is this my choice, or am I losing myself? Remember, people will try to define you by their fears, their biases, and their limitations. But you get to choose how you define yourself. You get to write your own story. You get to decide what kind of legacy you leave behind. Protecting your identity isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's an act of self-respect. When you honor who you are, you set the standard for how others treat you. You teach the world that you are not negotiable, you are valuable, you are worthy. And here's the best part: when you stand in your true identity, everything else falls into place. Your relationships become healthier because you bring honesty and clarity. Your work becomes more fulfilling because it aligns with your purpose. Your spirit becomes unbreakable because it's grounded in truth. So guard your identity fiercely. Know yourself deeply. Speak your truth boldly. When the world tries to pull you off course, remember, your identity is your greatest gift, your fiercest weapon, and your guiding light. Lose it and you lose everything. Protect it and you become unstoppable. There's something that every single person in this room needs to hear loud and clear. You must prioritize your needs. Not tomorrow, not when you have time. Now, your well-being is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And I don't care who's asking for your time, your energy, or your heart. If you don't take care of yourself first, you'll have nothing left to give. Nothing. Zero. Listen, the world is a demanding place. Responsibilities pile up. People expect you to show up, to perform, to give, to sacrifice. You're told to put others first, to be selfless, to take one for the team. But here's the cold, hard truth. If you constantly ignore your own needs, you're running on empty. And a car running on empty doesn't get very far. You've got to flip the script. You've got to understand that self-care isn't selfish, it's survival. It's the foundation for every goal you want to achieve, every relationship you want to nurture, every dream you want to chase. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot lead others if you're falling apart inside. You cannot love fully if you are neglecting your own heart. Prioritizing your needs means recognizing that your physical, emotional, and mental health are sacred. It means setting boundaries that protect your peace, even if it means saying no and facing pushback. It means taking time to rest when your body screams for it, to heal when your spirit is broken, and to recharge when your mind is overwhelmed. I want you to imagine your life as a house. If the foundation is cracked, the whole structure is unstable. Your needs are that foundation. When you ignore them, the house crumbles. When you nurture them, you build a fortress, strong, resilient, unshakable. Too many people confuse sacrifice with strength. They think that the harder they push, the more they deny themselves, the more strong they are. But strength is not the absence of care. Strength is the courage to protect your well-being, to say, I matter, even when no one else does. That's real power. Prioritize your needs because it sends a message to yourself and the world that you are worth it. It says that your health, your happiness, and your peace are not negotiable. When you put your needs first, you set the tone for every other area of your life. You create standards. You demand respect. And let me tell you something, when you start living this way, your energy changes. Your confidence rises, your relationships improve because you're no longer operating from a place of depletion or resentment. You're showing up whole, present, and ready to give, not because you have to, but because you want to. This isn't just about bubble baths or weekend getaways. This is about recognizing your value every single day in the decisions you make. It's about what you eat, how you sleep, the people you spend time with, the thoughts you entertain. It's about saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that uplift you. Don't let guilt steal your peace. When you prioritize your needs, you're not abandoning anyone. You're strengthening yourself so you can be better for everyone. You're investing in the one relationship that matters most, the one with yourself. So I challenge you right now to ask, what do I need? What am I denying myself? What boundaries have I refused to set? And then take action. Make a plan to protect your well-being fiercely. Guard your time, guard your energy, guard your heart. Because here's the truth. You cannot give what you don't have, and you cannot be what you don't nurture. Your needs are not a distraction from your mission. They are the fuel for it. Make prioritizing yourself a non-negotiable. Do it with confidence, with strength, with unapologetic courage. When you do, you will not only survive, you will thrive. And that, my friend, is how you win in life. There's a simple truth you need to own today. Your environment shapes your destiny. The people you surround yourself with, the places you spend your time, the conversations you engage in, these all have the power to build you up or tear you down. You cannot thrive if you stay trapped in toxic environments. Toxicity kills. It drains your spirit, it steals your joy, and it blinds you to your true potential. Listen carefully. Energy is real. It's not some vague, new age nonsense. It's the force that fuels your mind, your body, your soul. And toxic environments suck that energy right out of you. Like a leech, they latch on and slowly drain you until you're left empty, defeated, and confused about why you feel so small in a world that's supposed to be yours. You have to make a decision right now. Are you going to keep living in spaces that dim your light? Are you going to keep tolerating people who disrespect your worth, who drain your peace, who whisper doubt in your ear? Or are you going to step up and step out because nothing great ever happened in a toxic environment. Nothing. Toxicity comes in many forms. It can be the harsh words from a friend who should be your biggest cheerleader. It can be the constant negativity in your workplace that crushes your motivation. It can be the draining family dynamics that leave you emotionally bankrupt. Whatever form it takes, you must recognize it. You must name it, and you must remove yourself from it. Now, let me be clear. Walking away is not weakness, it's strength. It's the kind of courage that not everyone has. Because leaving toxic environments means confronting fear, the fear of loneliness, the fear of change, the fear of standing alone. But that fear is a lie. When you cut toxic ties, you create space for growth, for healing, for opportunities you never thought possible. You deserve peace. You deserve relationships that lift you higher, environments that fuel your ambition, and spaces where your soul can breathe freely. Anything less is a betrayal to your own greatness. Remember, you are not obligated to stay where you are not wanted or valued. This isn't about abandoning responsibility or running away from problems. It's about knowing when a situation is no longer serving your highest good. It's about protecting your energy like it's the most valuable asset you own, because it is. You can't build a legacy if you're constantly drained and defeated. So how do you start? First, become aware. Pay attention to how you feel after being with certain people or in certain places. Do you feel energized or exhausted, encouraged or discouraged? Clarity comes when you listen to your body and your intuition. Trust that. Next, set boundaries. This might mean limiting contact, speaking up, or creating physical distance. Boundaries are not walls to keep others out. They are gates to protect your well-being. They tell the world you respect yourself and expect respect in return. And finally, fill that space you create with positivity. Seek out environments that challenge you, relationships that inspire you, and opportunities that push you toward your goals. Surround yourself with people who see your value and want to help you grow. Environments where your light isn't just tolerated, it's celebrated. Remember this, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Choose to be around those who bring out your best, who believe in your potential, who push you to be greater than you were yesterday. Toxic environments are traps. They keep you stuck in cycles of doubt, fear, and limitation. But freedom comes when you break those chains and reclaim your power. It starts with a decision, a commitment to protect your energy and honor your soul. You owe it to yourself to live in spaces that nurture your dreams, not smother them. You owe it to yourself to walk away from what no longer serves you. You owe it to yourself to rise, because when you remove toxicity from your life, you don't just survive, you soar. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how champions are made. Dreams, they are the heartbeat of your existence, the fuel that ignites your passion, the vision that pulls you forward when everything else screams at you to quit. But let me tell you something real right now. Dreams don't come cheap. They demand sacrifice, grit, and relentless faith. Yet too many people throw their dreams away for the sake of comfort. And that's the biggest mistake you can make. Listen, holding on to your dreams is not about stubbornness. It's about clarity. It's about knowing that the life you want is worth every ounce of struggle, every sleepless night, every sacrifice. It's about understanding that your dreams are the blueprint of your purpose. When you let go of them, you lose sight of why you came here in the first place. You see, the world wants you to settle, to take the easy road, to accept what's handed to you without question. But that's not living, that's surviving. And surviving is not enough. You were born to thrive, to push beyond limits, to break barriers. Dreams don't care about your comfort zone. They demand you step out, risk it all, and stand in the face of fear. They call you to do what others won't, to sacrifice what others cling to. Because greatness doesn't grow in the soil of ease. It grows in the fire of challenge. So when the temptation comes to give up your dream for a paycheck that barely satisfies, or a relationship that stifles your growth, or a routine that numbs your soul, resist it. That moment is a test, a crossroads. Do you choose temporary comfort or lifelong fulfillment? I want you to know this. Sacrificing your dreams for short-term comfort is a soul's tragedy. It's a slow death of potential. It's the story of what might have been. And it's not your story. Hold on to your dreams like your life depends on it, because it does. Every morning, remind yourself why you started. Visualize the future you want to create. Feel the fire inside you that says, I am meant for more. Remember, no one can steal your dream unless you hand it over willingly. Others might doubt you, criticize you, even try to pull you down. But your dreams are yours. Guard them fiercely. When you hold on to your dreams, you inspire those around you. You become a beacon of hope for those who've lost their way. You prove that it's possible to rise above circumstances, to defy the odds, to rewrite the narrative. But here's the catch. Holding on to your dreams requires sacrifice. Not the kind that destroys your soul, but the kind that builds it. The sacrifice of comfort, of distractions, of instant gratification. You have to be willing to work harder, to be patient, to face rejection. You have to embrace failure as a teacher, not a verdict. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That's the path of the dreamer. It's not easy, it's not guaranteed, but it's the only path worth walking. So don't sell out your dreams for a life that feels safe but empty. Don't trade your purpose for convenience. Hold on tight. Stay relentless. Stay hungry, because your dreams are the seeds of your destiny. And when you finally reach the summit, when you look back on the journey, you won't regret the struggles. You'll celebrate the triumphs. You'll know that you lived with passion, purpose, and courage. Dreams are not just wishes. They are commitments to yourself. They are the legacy you leave behind. Hold on to them. Fight for them. Protect them with everything you got, because your dreams are worth it. And so are you. Listen, and most people never learn, and it costs them dearly. That lesson is this: you don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to be everyone's favorite. You don't have to sacrifice your peace, your time, your energy just to keep the crowd happy. Learning to say no, that's where real strength lives. Because when you say yes to everyone else at your own expense, you set yourself up for burnout. And burnout is a slow, painful death of your spirit. You see, saying no is not about being rude or selfish. It's about self-preservation. It's about valuing yourself enough to protect your boundaries. It's about understanding that your time and energy are finite resources, and you get to decide where they go. Think about it. How often have you said yes when every fiber in your body wanted to say no? How often have you agreed to things that drained you, stressed you out, or pulled you away from your goals? All because you feared disappointing others, feared conflict, or just wanted to be liked. But here's the truth. When you constantly put others' needs above your own, you become a shadow of who you could be. You lose focus, you lose energy, and eventually you lose yourself. Saying yes all the time is a fast track to exhaustion and resentment. You have to flip the script. Saying no is not failure. Saying no is not weakness. Saying no is power. It's an act of courage. When you say no to the wrong things, you say yes to the right things. Your goals, your dreams, your health, your peace. Let me be clear, you cannot please everyone. It's impossible. No matter how hard you try, some people will be unhappy. So why sacrifice your well-being to chase after impossible approval? Why dim your light to fit someone else's idea of who you should be? Learn to say no with grace, with confidence, without guilt. Set boundaries that honor your priorities. Protect your energy like it's the most valuable currency you have, because it is. When you do, you'll notice something remarkable. Your relationships improve, your focus sharpens, and your sense of self deepens. Saying no also teaches others how to treat you. It sets the standard. It says, I respect myself, and I expect you to do the same. And when people respect your boundaries, they respect you. Now, I'm not saying say no to every opportunity or request. That's not the point. The point is to say yes intentionally, to choose where your energy goes, to invest your time in what truly matters, because every no is a yes to something bigger. You owe it to yourself to protect your space. You owe it to yourself to guard your time. Saying no is a skill, one that you have to practice. It might feel uncomfortable at first. You might worry about how others will react. But let me tell you, your peace and purpose are worth more than temporary discomfort. Imagine your life as a garden. Saying no is pulling out the weeds, the distractions, the demands, the drains that keep your garden from flourishing. When you clear that space, you create room for growth, for beauty, for abundance. So start today. Identify where you've been saying yes out of obligation or fear. Then practice saying no respectfully, firmly, unapologetically. Watch how your life changes. Watch how your energy returns. Watch how your spirit soars. Remember this, your life is your responsibility. You get to decide what fills your time, what consumes your energy, and what shapes your days. Saying no is not about shutting doors, it's about opening the right ones. When you learn to say no, you reclaim your power, you honor your worth, and you create space for the life you were meant to live. So say no. Say no boldly. Say no without apology, because your peace, your dreams, and your soul depend on it. Listen closely. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are the language of your soul, the signals that tell you what's happening deep inside. And yet so many people are taught to bottle them up, to hide them, to act like feelings are a weakness. That's a lie. That's a trap. Because when you bury your emotions, you're not protecting yourself. You're destroying yourself from the inside out. Holding in pain, anger, fear, or sadness doesn't make you strong. It makes you fragile. It creates pressure inside you that builds up like a storm, ready to explode when you least expect it. And the cost, your mental health, your relationships, your very spirit can suffer. The truth is, healing begins the moment you stop running from your feelings and start facing them head on. Expressing your emotions doesn't mean losing control or being weak. It means being real, honest, and courageous. It means telling your story, sharing your struggles, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. That vulnerability is not a flaw, it's a sign of true strength. It takes guts to say, this is how I feel. It takes courage to open your heart and let others see your truth. Why is this so important? Because emotions are like water. If they don't flow, they stagnate. Emotions cause toxicity in your soul. They hold you back from moving forward, from growing, from living fully. When you express what's inside, you release that poison. You clear the path for healing, clarity, and peace. You might think you have to face your emotions alone, but that's not true. Sharing with trusted people, seeking support, or even speaking to yourself with kindness can help you process what you're feeling. You're not burdening others, you're inviting healing. And in return, you build deeper connections, richer relationships, and a stronger sense of self. Let me tell you something else. When you express your emotions honestly, you take back control. You stop letting your feelings control you. You learn to understand them, to manage them, to use them as fuel instead of fire. You become the master of your inner world instead of its prisoner. Bottling up emotions might seem like a shield, but it's a cage. And breaking free from that cage is essential to protecting your soul. Don't let fear of judgment or rejection keep you silent. Your feelings matter, your story matters, your healing matters. And here's the beautiful part. When you embrace your emotions, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect of honesty, courage, and authenticity that transforms communities. You lead by example. You show what it means to be truly alive. So today I challenge you, start speaking your truth. Start sharing your heart. Don't let your emotions suffocate in silence. Let them breathe. Let them move through you. And watch how your soul begins to mend. Because healing is not linear. It's messy. It's painful. And it starts with honesty. Express your emotions. Honor them. Use them as a bridge to your strength, your resilience, your freedom. Because in the end, the soul that speaks its truth is a soul that cannot be broken. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a truth that cannot be ignored. Staying true to yourself is the foundation of a life well lived. There's no greater betrayal than losing yourself in the pursuit of pleasing others. When you sacrifice your identity, your values, your dreams just to fit someone else's mold, you're not living, you're existing. And existing is the slow death of the soul. You have to understand this. Your authenticity is your power. It's the light that guides you through the darkest times. It's the compass that keeps you on the path meant for you. When you stay true to yourself, you live with integrity, with passion, and with freedom. But when you lose sight of who you are, you lose everything that makes you unique and irreplaceable. Too many people get caught up in trying to be what others expect. They wear masks, they play roles, they mute their voice, all in the name of acceptance, love, or success. But here's the thing. No amount of approval from others can fill the void left by betraying yourself. No external validation can replace inner peace. Staying true to yourself means knowing who you are at your core, your values, your beliefs, your desires, and honoring them no matter the cost. It means having the courage to say no to people, situations, or opportunities that don't align with your truth. It means standing firm when others try to sway you, to change you, or to dim your light. This is not an easy path. It requires strength, resilience, and fierce self-love. You will face criticism, rejection, and loneliness. But here's the promise. The more authentic you are, the more you attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences into your life. Imagine a world where you no longer live in fear of judgment or rejection. Imagine waking up each day knowing you are exactly who you're meant to be, unapologetically. That's the freedom that comes from staying true to yourself. Remember, identity is not a costume you put on and take off at will. It's the essence of your being. Losing it is not just a personal loss, it's a soul-crushing tragedy that echoes through every part of your life. So I challenge you today. Dig deep, reconnect with your true self. Identify the parts of you that have been hidden, silenced, or compromised, and then reclaim them. Speak your truth. Live your values. Chase your dreams on your own terms. When you do this, you create a life of meaning and purpose. You become a beacon for others to do the same. You become unstoppable. Never forget, the world needs the real you, not a watered-down version, not a mimic, but the authentic, powerful, beautiful you. Stay true to that, protect it fiercely, and watch how your soul thrives. Because at the end of the day, the greatest gift you can give yourself and the world is the gift of your true self. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey we've been on today is not easy, but it's necessary. These sacrifices, the ones that break your soul, are traps disguised as obligations, but you have the power to break free, to protect your spirit, your dreams, your truth. Remember this, your environment shapes you, choose it wisely. Hold on tight to your dreams, they are the blueprint of your purpose. Learn to say no, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. Express your emotions honestly because healing begins with truth. And above all, stay true to yourself because your authenticity is your greatest strength. You were made for more than survival. You were made to thrive, to rise, to shine. Don't let anyone or anything steal your light. Stand firm, stand proud, and keep moving forward with courage and faith. The soul that is protected, nourished, and honored is a soul that cannot be broken. This is your life, your story, your moment, make it count.